Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. And yes, my bobber won't start, and that's because it's got a flat battery. And over the weekend, I found out very quickly that pushing or jump starting a 250 kilo motorcycle by yourself on gravel is kind of challenging. So if you've never changed a battery on your Triumph bobber and you want to do it one day, or you want to know how to do it one day, I hope this video helps. I'm just going to go through the process of replacing the old battery with the new battery. Okay, let's get into it. Now, the mechanic said I've got a slow charger, just to put it on the slow charger for about half an hour. Will be good. Black to negative, red to positive. So I got a Bosch C3 slow charger. It's a smart charger, so it detects that it's a motorcycle. It knows it's 12 volt. And this means it needs to be charged, and once it's fully charged, it'll go over here and it'll start trickle charging once it goes into here. This is a 5mm hex key. So I've been reading that the 2025 bobbers onwards, they don't have this little bolt anymore. Apparently it's just a steel plate that just goes over here, and it's a clip-on. I don't exactly know how it works, but this is the way my bobber came. So it comes with a few pieces. This one can slide out, so it just comes off from the top like this. Okay, so this cover is pretty easy. Basically just grab it from the bottom and the top, right, and just pull it towards you. It's just held in together. I don't know what they call it, rubber grommets onto these little pins over here, and that's where your battery is. This is my negative cable. This is where it grounds onto the bike. And this is the positive terminal. This is just an elastic, so you just pull it down, lift it up, and the battery can slide out a little bit. Just lift it up and come out, so you can get to that bolt a little bit easier. It's a bit of corrosion on the top of that. So if I remember correctly, we've got to disconnect the grounding cable first. So it's held in with a hex key. This is the same one, so it's a 5mm, I think. Yeah, it's a 5mm. So the reason why you want to do that is you want to take off the grounding cable, because right now the battery's connected to the bike and it's grounded to the bike. So if you start messing around with the positive terminal and your wrench or your screwdriver touches the body, you're just gonna have sparks everywhere, and you're gonna create little wells here and there. So it's held in there. I don't know whether you can see it, but it's covered by a little rubber cap. So just be really careful when you unscrew this. It's usually really tight because you want the grounding to be fairly tight. So we'll take this one off first. So be careful when you take this off, you don't touch anything else, and just separate all this. So this cable that comes out from the battery, all right, I just keep the hood, because that's still connected to the battery, so if it touches any part of the bike, it'll spark up, right? So I just basically make sure that it's covered, and then you want to get a 10. This is a 10. Yeah, it's about 10. Okay, so now you want to take off the positive terminal. Well, it wasn't very tight. It's in there. Ah, finally, here we go. Okay, just hang on to that for a little bit, and then you just lift up the battery and slide the whole thing out. Voila. I got this bike 2 years ago, and the seller gave me a new battery because the bike was flat, and so he got me a new battery. So this is it, Batmaster. So I checked on Google, and it's basically an entry-level, no maintenance battery. So it does the job, but it's probably not perfect. So what we want to do is we want to take this cover off and put it onto the new battery. And I think that just comes off and it slides off that way. So we're gonna have to take this piece off and attach it onto the new battery. All right, let's go over there and do that. So it's not been half an hour, but if you look at it, it's on OK now. So basically the smart charger would have gone onto trickle charge. All right, so it's just dripping in power to the new battery. So I guess the new battery is okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn it off. Disconnect this. So I'm gonna take this piece off. You can see I sandpapered the contacts, so it's pretty good. Okay. Okay, so it goes on to the left side or the right side of the battery, and there's a little groove in here, and that's where the cable goes. Voila. Sorted. Okay. So I just want to show you the SAE cables. So you can buy them anywhere. This cable's a little bit bent out of shape. Okay, so that's all it is. It's just a cable that goes on here, and it goes into this, and I've cable tied it to the frame. And all I do is just plug the charger into here, and then it just charges the battery so that I don't have to take the battery out. It's just a little bit easier. It's a lot of messing around. It's pretty simple. Okay, this one I just tuck at the top of the battery after I get everything connected. Okie dokes, let's get the battery back on. Let's close that up. I put this just right behind the frame so you can't really see it. So just lift everything up. Slide the new battery in. Not all the way, just as long as you can reach the positive terminal, which is here. Okay, as long as the positive terminal can reach, you're good. All right, so to put it back on, you do the positive terminal first, and then the negative cable, the negative terminal. All right, just goes in there. So normally I put the SAE cable on top of the positive terminal, so I give it the best kind of connection with the positive terminal on the battery first, and then I will run the SAE cable on top of it. Right, so hopefully you can see this. So I'll run this through here, and then I'll put it through that. So you don't have to worry about any sparks at the moment, as long as the negative terminal's not touching any metal bits. Okay, so just put this in. Okay, so the battery's not fully sitting in properly yet. it's just a little bit out, so it's just easier for me to reach this nut. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okie dokes. Mine came without a cover for the positive terminal. I don't know where that went. I see a lot of YouTube videos and I see people with the actual cover that goes on top of that. I think mine just came without it. Okay, once I've got that tightened up, just one more. Okay. That's not... Okay, then I push the battery all the way in. And then the battery's got to sit behind this little latch over here. All right, stops it from coming out. And then from there, you can pull the elastic out, get the metal band to go under that hook, and that stops the battery from coming out, and it's a pretty good fit. Okay, so with the SAE cable, I want it to come out from this little gap over here. So I want to make sure that the thing goes in like that and not turned up. I want it to go sideways, right, like this. So what I usually do is I get the screw and I put that in first, and then I reveal the negative terminal, put the screw in, make sure this is at the right angle. Okay, and I come in towards that screw. Bam. No sparks, yay! Okay, so here we go. It's at the right angle. I'm trying to get my hands not in the way of the camera so that you guys can see what's going on. And make sure this connection is really nice and tight, okay? Because often enough, if the ground connection is not tight, the bike won't start as well. So now with these excess cables, I just tuck it back inside the battery compartment. So it's all out of the way. All right, like I said, basically there's nothing at the bottom. It's just a rubber seal. So the top piece has a little hook on it. So that hooks on to that part there. All right, and the bottom piece, it just, there's another hook. There's a lever right here, and then the bottom piece just hooks onto that, like that. Okay? But this will stay in place because of the grommets. Right, so you just put that on, like so. Okay, and it will stay in place. Voila. This is the fiddly part. Trying to get this back on. I can see why they got rid of it. All right, because putting this back on is a bit of a joke, and let's see whether I can do this gracefully. All right. The annoying thing is that this cylinder, this little bit over here, keeps popping out. Right, it can slide right out. All right. So you get the top bit on, hook it over the edge, and you try to get this hole facing downwards. And then this is your screw. It goes in there. Okay, this annoying piece goes over the screw to make it look pretty. Alright, and this goes underneath the hooks onto that bit that I told you about. And you've got to try and get this on at the same time. And then with some skill, you can screw it all back in. Okay, this is going to be fairly firm. I've seen some leather ones, they're pretty as well. They kind of keep the same thing over here, but instead of steel, it's leather. It's kind of nice looking. It doesn't really do much, it just holds the cover there, it doesn't bounce around, so it's pretty secure. So that's all done. Great. Okay. Key is in. Sweet. Okay. So let's give it a go. Clutch in. Battery. Power on. right, success. So I'm not a mechanic and I love wrenching on my bike. I've done quite a lot of things to my bike. I've got some videos on YouTube. So if you like my stuff, you know, like and subscribe, leave a comment. I always like talking to people online. And that's about it. I hope you found that useful if you've never changed your battery before. I've done it a few times. I've had a few problems which I will tell on YouTube one day. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.